I'm Matthew Guiste, Global Retail Strategist for Zebra Technologies. Zebra is a key technology provider that works with more than 60% of the retail market. We provide mission-critical devices and software that enable retailers to provide seamless customer experiences, achieve visible and accurate inventory, and keep retail associates happy. The Zebra portfolio is massive. Key products include mobile and touch computers and tablets, AI, computer vision and RFID solutions, printers and scanners of all kinds, operational and analytics software, and now retail kiosks and wearables. Every year, Zebra works with a third-party research company to field a large, highly detailed survey. This effort had more than 4,200 respondents split among adult shoppers, retail associates, so frontline workers, and retail decision makers, those who work in the corporate head office. Zebra's annual Global Shopper Study is a sought-after look at key retail trends that is viewed by retail executives, analysts, and the media. Three particularly valuable aspects of the Shopper Study are: first, we've been doing it for a long time and we've been asking the same questions year after year, so we can start to see trends not just this year but across time. This is particularly important now that we can see things that were changed from before the pandemic until today. Second, because we survey three different audiences, consumers, retail workers, and corporate office employees, we can sometimes tease out differences between them by asking them the same questions. Finally, by surveying so many shoppers of various ages and around the globe, we get insights into how some trends or answers vary by region or by age group. The first thing I do when I get the new shopper survey is I look at what's changed. I read through at a high level and find the big picture to see what's new about the overall level of retail satisfaction, to see if it's different between online and in-store. Then I look at the level of satisfaction for retail associates and what they have with their jobs and what would make them better. Finally, I scan to see if there are places where retail associates or their customers believe something different compared to the retail decision makers. The next thing I think about is how these new attitudes and beliefs are matching up with what experiences retailers are providing to their customers. Where are the opportunities to make improvement in operations or in the retail experience? At Zebra, we think about our retail strategy under a framework called the Modern Store. The Modern Store has three pillars that are all tethered to outcomes that retailers look to provide. The first one is about improving the customer shopping journey, which we call elevated customer experience. The second is about knowing where all your products are. We call that optimized inventory. Finally, we want to help enhance the experience of a retail frontline worker, and we call it engaged associate. For the customer, I focus on big picture trends such as the overall satisfaction of their shoppers. It went down this year. How comfortable consumers are with new experiences that are tech-enabled, like self-checkout. That jumped up big time since COVID. And what customers look for in their associates that are in the stores, which tends to be mostly around product and price support. For inventory, the two areas I focus on are out of stocks and shrink. This year you can see, despite supply chains continuing to improve, out of stocks are still a large and growing problem. And on shrink, this year most decision makers said it's slightly worse, so it's growing but maybe not quite at the rate it was before. For associates, I look at two specific stats and I find those the most interesting. The first is how satisfied they are with their jobs. What you'll see in the survey is there's an increase in stress, particularly about how much they have to do and how few employees they have to get the jobs done. Second, and very much related, you see a clear preference for a system or tool to tell them what to do next. They see generative AI not as something that's going to take their jobs, but something that may make their jobs better. Some specific examples that I see from this year's research that I think are particularly important. First of all retail shopping is omnichannel now. 78% of shoppers prefer to mix and match in-store and online shopping. That's up about 3% this year, but fully 20 percentage points since 2019. Wherever your logo shows up, the consumer now demands that those experiences be connected and efficient. A big watch out I see for retailers is that 78% of shoppers find it annoying when products are locked up or secured within cases. Yet this survey result is coming at a time when more and more goods are being secured. That's a big point of friction and one that Zebra is working hard to help solve. A final key pair of stats is these. 76% of shoppers say that when they give retailers their personal information, they expect a unique and tailored experience. So that's the bad news. If a shopper indicates their preferences to a retailer, they expect them to do something cool with it. But on the plus side, 75% of shoppers say that when a retailer recommends something personalized, they're more likely to buy it. So high effort, high reward. Some specific examples that I see about inventory this year, no surprise, but the #1 driver of customer satisfaction for a shopping visit is finding the product they're looking for. What was surprising, however, is that retail decision makers rated in-store product availability as higher, as more satisfactory than customers did. That delta is worth exploring further. 52% of retail decision makers report an increase in shrink over the last 12 months, but 83% of decision makers agree that minimizing fraud and shrink is a significant challenge, and 78% of them say they're under high pressure to minimize theft and loss. So while we might not see the same frenzy for shrink in earnings calls and in the media that we did maybe a year ago, it's still a large and even still growing problem. Finally, a big change in recent years is the level of automation that's required regarding inventory. 85% of decision makers believe that their company needs better inventory management tools to improve accuracy and availability. And 86% of decision makers agree that using automation and robotics would offset workforce gap. For the retail frontline worker, first of all, it continues to be a challenging environment. 79% of associates feel stressed due to the increasing complexity of their day-to-day work. However, the good news is that 85% of associates believe that having the right technology to do their job helps, and 87% say that having it makes them feel more valued. The specific technology tools that retailers' associates are looking for include mobile point of sale on a device. That was the #1, with 89% of retail associates saying it would help them provide a better service to their customers. Other technologies that associates wanted are handheld devices, barcode scanners, communication devices, and wearable computers. Those round out the top 5. Finally, this is a key stat to watch. 85% of frontline workers prefer automatically prescribed tasks for managing their day and figuring out what to do next. This is up 13 percentage points since just 2021. Retailers today have to do more with less, from the cost and availability of labor, to needing to be more efficient with ad and digital spends, to needing to get more sales per square foot from their stores. Doing everything everywhere all at once is the norm. 2 areas where retailers are most able to increase efficiency are data and technology. Data and the accurate conclusions from it form the basis of recognizing trends, challenging dated thinking, and improving efficiency, and even avoided being disrupted. And technology is a force multiplier that can make all processes more efficient, frontline workers happier, more productive, and improves the customer experience. When I think about what barriers retailers have to implementing research findings to boost their profitability, the first thing I think of is just recognizing trends and their implications is hard, but implementing changes to react to those trends within a large organization is even harder. A few things that I've found that can help are: first, establish clear priorities among your strategies. Every action will have pros and cons, and knowing the priority of what you want to achieve will help create clear decision matrices for all involved. Second, create a high-value data environment. Clarifying and promoting consistent data sources and evaluating reality around you consistently will help frame the picture for everyone to help them know what to do next. But of course, always make sure you build mechanisms to incorporate new data over time. Finally, have known mechanisms to fund priorities. Having known and consistent investment prioritization processes within the company helps funnel more investment to top priorities and avoid rogue or diffuse efforts. Retailers have a tricky job balancing short-term wins and long-term improvements, especially retailers that report their earnings quarterly. The most crucial elements to balance these competing priorities is predictability and agility. If you can predict something like shrink, then even if it's high, at least you can manage to it. And agility lets you react quickly to changing market or consumer behavior. Something that supports increasing both predictability and agility is data. So a report like the shopper survey can be one piece of that data puzzle. And what's most striking to me about looking at all these reports collectively is just how much was changed by COVID. Before the pandemic, things changed, but they tended to be explainable and somewhat predictable. But post-COVID, I find that while some trends return to previous patterns, many either find new values in relationships or are still varying wildly. One tangible example is the simple act of a consumer acquiring a product. Before the pandemic, there were predictable purchase rates in the store, at the home website, or in other sales portals. But now all those relationships have changed. And there are many new ways like buy online and pick up in store, or at the curb, ship to warehouse, or ship from the store. And now returns have exploded in popularity, so that purchase path doesn't even stop at payment. Retailers figured out how to do these and meet those consumer demands for the new models, but they're still often less profitable than traditional in-store purchase paths. If I could give one piece of advice to retail executives on how to effectively utilize research data like the shopper study, I would say this. Customer behavior and sentiment tends to change slowly, then all at once. Data provided by reports like the shopper survey can be like an early warning sign so you can see where customer behaviors are headed. Constantly challenge your assumptions. What was true yesterday may not be true today and could be dangerously wrong tomorrow. Retailers have a broad range of tools to help capture their customer desires. The shopper survey is one such tool, but there are other general or custom research reports, analyst insights, and of course, The key one, sales. Customers vote with their wallets as much as anything else.